So now that we're 3 out of the 8 episodes down in AHSOKA, it has become abundantly, shockingly, and disappointingly clear that the show AHSOKA is not about Ahsoka at all. Yes, she's in the show, but the plot itself has almost nothing to do with Ahsoka. The plot of the show Ahsoka is about all the boring characters in the show Ahsoka trying to find interesting characters that are stuck in another galaxy or whatever. The bad guys got to find their bad guy character that everybody loves, and the good guys have got to go find the good guy character that everybody loves. It's just a show of boring, uncharismatic, uninteresting characters trying to find the interesting characters to bring them into their show, to make it not bad. And I feel like, just fundamentally, that's not a good show. But hey, who cares about great acting, amazing direction, spectacular character arcs, and interesting themes, and just, I don't know, all those things that make a TV series? Who cares about any of them? This show's got CGI whales. To be fair, those CGI whales look spectacular. The only thing in this episode that I would say was positive was just, they look so good. Like, so good. They appeared and I went, oh my god, wow. And I almost forgot that I'd watched 25 minutes of nothing and that the episode was like over. But I was still very impressed by those CGI whales. So the visual effects team, everything else, no, I'm sorry. Dave Filoni, why did you write this whole show? I don't know why they let you do this. It's not anything. So it almost feels bad to criticize it because you haven't put anything in there to criticize. Like the difference between Andor, where there's characters and they like say words and have sentences and say things, and I know things about them, and they are characters with arcs. And in this, you just have Ray Stevenson. He stands there and he's like, "They're in the forest. Get them." And that's his dialogue. Like his apprentice, her dialogue is like Transformers dialogue, like where the scripts of Transformers in the action scenes is just, sentence after sentence, paragraph after paragraph of just action. And then it's like Shia LaBeouf says, get the box, or I've got the box, or they've got the box, let's get the box off them. Or switch box with sword or key or whatever MacGuffin it is. And her dialogue in this show is the same. She's like, where are they? You didn't get them. I'm gonna get them. That's not fundamentally bad if we know anything about her character, or she's like a character, or maybe it's a movie and you don't have time, but it's a show. You have time. Maybe have her say words and dialogue and express things so we understand her as a character. But it does feel like it's a bit of a case of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because on one hand, I really want to have more dialogue and character work, and I want to know more about all these villains. But then when we do get all the character scenes and dialogue with our main characters, Ahsoka and Sabine, and they have actual character work, I'm like, oh no, actually, I don't like that. It's not very good and interesting. So unfortunately, I think I'm just never going to be happy no matter what I get. Okay, I can feel it. The energy, it's gotten negative. Let's turn it back around. Things I liked. I already said the space whales. So the ship does a spinny thing. The ship's like, boo, boo, boo. I liked that. Something happened. It was colors and lights and sounds were moving, and I thought that was fine. Hera wasn't in the episode that much, so I wasn't annoyed that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is not good in this, and I am very sad about that fact. So she wasn't in it that much, so that's good. Big space door called the Eye of Sauron. Sorry, I was thinking about something that was good. It's called the Eye of Sion, and in theory that's very exciting because once they get the big space door opened, we can go to good characters. But also, I'm terrified that the good characters, Ezra and Thrawn, will not be good because the acting in this show is like not great. The villains are clearly much better, but Sabine and Ahsoka are really flat and wooden. They don't have any chemistry, And they don't even have that kind of chemistry where you're like, oh no, they're not getting along now, but they will when they learn to work as a team. It just like isn't vibing. I think Sabine is much worse. But Ahsoka's entire characterization, since she's old now, is just the same as every Jedi when they're old. It's just like, now you're stoic. What was your character before that? Shut up. Who cares? Old Jedi after, let's say, 50, just stoic. Stoic, emotionless, and boring. It's like they all got, like, I don't know, told to act like Mace Windu, and they're like, oh, so stop acting. Like, just give you nothing. And they're like, yeah. Dave Filoni's just like, yeah, I really liked that with Mace Windu in the prequels, where he just like, he's like the most charismatic, interesting actor ever, and he just didn't give us anything. That's what I want from you, Rosario Dawson, spectacular actress. Just give me nothing. And she's like, I could act though, because you're paying me to act and emote. And he's like, no, your Jedi is old now. So all of those characteristics that you had as Ahsoka, get rid of them, chuck them in a bin. Don't even watch that show. This lady is old and slow and boring and perfect. Just cross your arms and just stand there. I didn't realize how much I didn't like this. I didn't watch it with anyone, so I don't think I realized until I sat down. I don't like this show. Oh my God. I think I didn't realize that because I was like, space whales. They look amazing. And like the ships flying through and the mist and the fog. All of that. Just a really great moment. But I do not like this show. Will I keep watching? Of course. But that isn't like a testament to the quality of the show and just the patheticness of my life. Another thing that really worries me about the future of this show is that when it's doing something unique, fresh, and visually crazy and cool, like in this episode with Ahsoka in the spacesuit standing on the ship, which is a really cool idea on paper in theory, and it's like the execution of a great idea is completely boshed with idiot character decisions. Like, she's standing on the ship and the three bad guys are coming at her and they shoot directly at her so that she can defend with her lightsabers and not just shooting at any other part of the ship. And one of them flies so close to Ahsoka standing on the ship, she can cut the ship in half, which in theory is cool and I like the idea, but it's just baffling character decision making because it's like, what was that guy thinking? You are flying so close to a ship that has no power and no guns, and the only thing that can hit you is someone standing on the ship, so you fly by close enough for that lightsaber to cut your ship in half? What? That's crazy. It's so shockingly dumb. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't stop laughing. It's so dumb. You took something that could be so interesting and so kind of, I don't know, like, it could really crank up the tension. Like, they're shooting at the ship, it's exploding, it's blowing up, and she's trying her best, but there's not much she can do. But instead, they just shoot right at her. She deflects all the bullets. The ship is fine. Fine enough for them to land and everything. And not only that, they just go so close that she cuts one of the ships in half. Oh my Lord. She also got into that spacesuit like super quickly. But at that point, when you're criticizing that, that's a nitpick. I guess I'm fine with that if the show is good. When the show is this, I'm not so fine with it. And I'm like, well, that's dumb.